Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michaela and today I am doing an original book tag. So I actually created this tag quite a long time ago. I think in the end of last year, but time just kind of got away from me and I never actually brought the idea to fruition and created a video. So here it is. This is the slow readers book tag. And I just want to preface this with, you don't have to actually be a slow reader to do this tag. All the questions, like, anybody could answer every single question. I just wanted to specifically name it the slow readers book tag because I myself am a slow reader. I wanted to preface it that anybody can do this tag. So there's 10 questions. I didn't want it to be too long and I felt like 10 questions is like the perfect amount of questions. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Question number 1 is, what's your Goodreads goal for the year? So my personal goal is 52 books this year because there's 52 weeks in a year. I feel like that's pretty average for me. Last year I had a goal of 50 and I didn't hit it. I can't remember what my 2019 goal was, but I feel like 52 I can definitely hit this year. I'm not sure like how on track I am, but yeah, my goal of the year is 52 books. I also want to add on to this question how many books I have read so far this year. So it's May 4th and I have read 13 books this year. So I'm 4 behind, so that's not great, but I can catch up. I mean, I still got lots of the year to go. So yeah, my goal is 52 books and I've read 13 books this year and we are 5 months into the year, and if that doesn't tell you how slow of a reader I am, I don't know what does. Question 2 is, how many books you averaged reading a month? So I calculated this based off of my last year's like how many books I read in the year, and I average about 5 books a month. I feel like that number might be a little bit skewed though from like any of my other years because it was like the height of the pandemic last year. So I read like I think 8 books in April. I read a lot during especially like March to like July, and so I think I read a lot more than I usually would. So I would say 3 books is probably what I average a month. Depends on the month, of course. Some months I literally read no books, but yeah, I'd say like averagely if I'm consistently reading, I'd say about 3 books a month. Question number 3 is, how many days does it average you to read a book? And then again, I took this average from last year, like my reading goal and how many pages and everything I read last year, and I averaged about 8 days to read a book, so about a book a week, and I feel like that's pretty average for me like any year. I feel like maybe I can read faster, but it depends like a lot on like the circumstances in my life. When I'm in school, I definitely don't read as fast, but like if I have nothing going on, a week I could definitely finish a book in a week, even faster probably. Question number 4 is, are you always reading a book or do you take breaks in between? And I would probably say I take breaks in between. I wouldn't say like as soon as I finish a book I pick up a new one. I'm definitely not that kind of reader. If I finish a book say at like 5 p.m, I wait till the next day to start a book. So I would say I take breaks. Question 5 is, what book took you particularly long to read? And looking off my stats, it was this bad boy, The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. So it took me 28 days to read this book. Part of that reason though is because I did read this with Angel, Sarah, and Sage. We were all buddy reading it, so of course it took us a little bit longer and we would like wait for each other to catch up. But even if I wasn't buddy reading it, I think it definitely would have taken me that long to read it anyways because it is thick. And there's a lot in this book that you have to digest and like really make sure you're trying to comprehend, maybe comprehending a little bit. But this took me 28 days to read, so this is probably one of the books that took me the longest to read. Question number 6 is, do big books intimidate you because you know you'll be spending a lot of time with them? And if they do, show one that particularly intimidates you. So I would say big books definitely intimidate me because I get bored a lot of the time, so knowing that I have to invest so much in a book can feel a little bit like overwhelming to me, so I try to stay away from big books. But I do have one that I have on my shelves that intimidates me, but I really do want to read. The second one in the Game of Thrones series, I almost forgot what it's called, Clash of Kings. So I read the first one last year. I read it like super quick. I think I read it in a week, but I've heard that this one is very politics heavy. It's very much like setting up the politics of the world and like how the war is gonna happen. So that is like intimidating to me in the first place, and it's also huge. Like 730 pages huge. So this is one I'm definitely intimidated by, but I will be reading it. I'm going to read the Game of Thrones series. I'm gonna read the complete series. I'm doing it, but it may take me a while to get there. Question number 7 is, which book have you actually read in one day or super quickly? And for me, this is any kind of romances. So like Pucked by Helena Hunting, I read in one day. Ice Planet Barbarians, I'm pretty sure I read in one day. And one of them that's actually one of my new favorites, this isn't a romance, but Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour, I believe is the author's name. I read this in one sitting, which is very unlikely for me. I absolutely adore this book. And yeah, I read it. It was so good that I read it in one go. Question number 8 is, which book series takes you the longest to read, if there is one? Just here to say that I meant book genre, not book series. I said it in like the little thing on the screen, but if you didn't catch that, I meant book genre that takes you the longest, not book series. And I kind of struggled to think of an answer for this one, honestly. But I think if I had to go on one, it'd be fantasy, just because I'm not a huge fantasy reader to begin with. It takes a lot for me to like learn the world, care about the politics, care about the rules, all that stuff. But like I feel like once I'm engrossed in a fantasy world, it's usually pretty okay. Like I can get through it. But that initial like having to learn everything in a fantasy world definitely takes me a little bit longer. So like the genre in a whole takes me a little bit longer to read. But yeah, probably fantasy, or like same with sci-fi, kind of same rules. And I think I just don't know enough about like the sci-fi genre, and like space and like everything that comes with sci-fi. I don't know it enough to like be able to just like grasp the concepts really quickly. So like fantasy, sci-fi, things like that take me a little bit longer to get into. Question number 9 is a book you regret reading because you spent so much time with it for so little payoff. And this is Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo for me. This book I tried so hard to read. I think I spent almost a month on it, like reading other books in between trying to read it, and I eventually had to DNF it because I couldn't do it. But that is one book I wish that I could take back my reading experience because it was painful. I couldn't get through it. It was so boring. I mean, I didn't love the first one, Shadow and Bone, but like Siege and Storm, I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. I want to try Six of Crows. But yeah, the Shadow and Bone trilogy, not for me. I could not get through Siege and Storm. It was such a waste of my time trying to read it, honestly. And then the last question number 10, is to just recommend fellow slow readers a book. If you're not a slow reader yourself, recommend a book that you think slow readers might be able to get into quickly, or that you love so much that you think it's worth spending so much time on it. Maybe one that's fast-paced. Whatever you think a slow reader would enjoy reading, recommend them a book here. And the one I'm going to recommend to all of my fellow slow readers is The Silent Patient by Alex Michailidis. So the reason I want to recommend this one is because it is so fast-paced. It's very psychological based, so if you're into that, I think that you will be gripped right away. It has an amazing twist. For me personally, I know everybody, I feel like if you've read this book, you either guess the twist right away or it caught you so off guard, and for me, it definitely caught me so off guard. One of my favorite books of all time, great mystery. I guess I should tell you what it's about. It's about this girl who shoots her husband in the face, kills her husband, and then never speaks about it again. So we're following a oh my god, I can't say the word. We're following a criminal psychotherapist named Theo who gets a job at the place that Alicia's the girl who shot her husband, where she's staying because he wants to get her to talk. He wants to figure out what happened to her and, you know, all the fun things psychotherapists do. But yeah, super fast paced, really gripping. I adore this book. If you're a slow reader and you need a mystery to grip you, I really think this is the one. So that's my fun little tag I created. I had a lot of fun with it. I've been wanting to create this tag for a very long time. So I'm going to try to tag some people here. Sage from Sage Reads, Sarah from String Bean Books, Angel from Jurassic Reads, Connor from Booktube Connor, Therese from Bookish Therese, Lisa from With Love Lisa, Armin from Armin Reads, Andrew from Andrew Reads, Helen from Pages and Peaches, TB from TB Kane, Louisa from Louisa Reads, I believe, Charlotte from Charlotte's Chapter, Leah from, I can't remember her channel name, sorry Leah, I think it's Leah Reads. But yeah, everyone feel free to be tagged, and if you do this tag, definitely tag me in the tweets you send out, DM me the videos. Any way you can get in contact with me to show me that you've done this tag, I would absolutely love watching yours. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. Have a great day, and I will catch you in my next one.